I was binge watching, the Hijack. I didn't expect that. Action series are not my favorite type, but you got me into. I was really binge watching, really tense. So how was it for you? Like the process of like also co-writing, saying in a way. I don't know if I can say
Yeah,
that, but how was it?
it was a great process. It's a difficult one, okay, because like you say, um, action series are not for everyone. And when you call a show Hijack, you're telling the audience what it's about. And then the difficulty is subverting what the audience think it's about and what it really is about. And I think that was a really interesting process, and the outcome so far, people that have watched it, like yourself, have gone, that was great. So I feel very proud of that. I didn't write it, but I was part of the team that sort of helped pull the story out and understand how we can make this incredible.
Operation has commenced.
Phones, tablets.
Plane is under control.
We can feel is a process, and I think the process makes it more interesting. We can feel it, which I think it's interesting. In terms of series, we have seen so many things, and I like the fact that Sam, your character, is a negotiator. Because sometimes nowadays, I think not sometimes, maybe always, negotiation is more important than being violent or being, imposing something.
So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, there's a theme about life hands you all kinds of things. You can accept that fate, or you can negotiate with life.
Yeah.
And kind of, just say, okay, let's think about this. Because sometimes, something will happen to you and it's bad. And then you just say, okay, that's me. But no, in this story, Sam decides to take a little bit of his fate into his own hands. And, I don't think he knows what he's doing in the beginning, but he's going to try.
I got a message from the plane.
Dad says incident on board.
What exactly does your dad do for a living?
It's difficult to explain.
Sam's the best at handling it.
Handling what?
I like the metaphor of playing, like the game, because I think everybody's playing and he's playing, at the same time with his mind. And I think for an actor as you, I think it's interesting because you had to play inside your head, isn't it? Like you are in an airplane. There's not much to do inside an airplane, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Reality and fiction, sort of blurs in this show because we've all been on planes, and we actually shot this on a real plane. It wasn't like a film set plane, it was a real plane, and we just tried to shoot it as if we shot it with the restrictions that we have in terms of space and confinement. And that really, I felt like I was on a flight for 6 months. That's like a
Oh
long
my
time.
God.
But it really did help the drama. It helped, some of the decisions we made as actors.
But you had like this restriction, didn't you? Like of moving, of where to put the camera, and also for you as an actor, was it difficult? Was it more difficult, less difficult than like an open space?
Hyperrealism is very difficult to replicate because, it's real, right? You've been on a flight, so
Many times.
you would know immediately that doesn't look like a real plane, or that doesn't feel correct. So hyperrealism and being dramatic at the same time is a nuance, is a balancing act. How we react in real life versus how we react on TV to project the emotion is slightly different. So you have to slightly be more amplified on TV, but sometimes the camera is there watching you. The smallest movement can say something to the audience. And so that's the nuance that we try to find in something like this.
Got family? Loved ones?
We got one job to do right now, just get through to them.
I like, following your projects. You have many projects. So you see yourself as someone who's a good negotiator.
I think I'm a good negotiator. I think that, I'm fair. Someone said to me this morning, "You're too kind." And I
Not
said,
really.
"No, I'm considerate." And, consideration is part of the sort of negotiation here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if someone is like, you know, really unreasonable, if you're just unreasonable back, you just go nowhere. But if you're a little bit considerate to whatever there is, whatever it's about, then you might get somewhere. And if they're considerate, they might get somewhere and you start to negotiate. So I think, yeah, it's actually, you know, Sam Nelson in this is a business negotiator. He's there to, you know, help mergers and acquisitions. He's there to help two people come together and show each other why they should do that. And in this story, I guess he tries to use that to dismantle this situation.
Never underestimate your co-negotiator, isn't it? As an actor as well, you never underestimate another actor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about, you know, on a plane, when someone walks in, depending on what they look like, what they're wearing, what gender they are, you know, you make assumptions on that person. You don't know them. You make assumptions, and those assumptions are usually heightened because you're locked together in this environment. It's an unusual environment. So you want to assess who that person is. Someone sits next to you, you immediately got an assumption about who they are. And so this show sort of examines a little bit of that in a clever way.
It's a good metaphor for the word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you. I have to wrap. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Javier. Nice to meet you.
And I'm waiting for the second season. Anything you invent. Just
Okay, you said it.
next time on the ship.
On the ship, love it.
All right. Cheers.
It's either us or them. And I can tell you, it's not going to be us.